Alright, looks like they went for the updated insulation package. Yeah, we're not looking at 10, 11, 12 inches of insulation. We're looking at least 2 feet, if not better, in here. They blew it all over the air handler too, so whoever's going to have to come in here and service this HVAC system is going to have a pain in the ass, because there's your attic hatch right there. You got to crawl over this air return, and that's your workspace. That's all you get. That's gonna be rough, man, but hey, at least you got all the extra insulation you can handle. That'll be helpful. This missing microwave is really showing us a good example of the gaps between these air exits or receptacles, switch plates, anything in the drywall. You can see all the gaps that the builders leave in here. So that's opening up the wall cavity in the house, so everything inside the wall can come back into the house. It's really good to seal those up. You can get some caulking, you can get some great stuff foam to stick in there, blow it up, cut it down so it's nice and smooth around here. Just fill in those gaps to help keep that temperature in the walls from coming inside the house and the house air from going inside the walls. Just helps keep these areas sealed a little bit better. It's not a hard job. It's not as visible on this outlet or receptacle, but you can see that little crack right there. Those little areas can be filled in. Those just help keep the areas sealed around this outlet. So if you stick some caulking in there or some great stuff foam and help keep that sealed up, you're gonna help keep your home better sealed to keep the air temperature inside more consistent. You're not gonna have so many air gaps inside out, outside your house. Just think how many little tiny air gaps you have behind each one of these receptacles, switch plates, around there. Every one of these could be sealed off a little bit better. The ones that are really important are going to be the exterior walls, because you have a higher chance of the air from outside sneaking up and getting in through that outlet. So we want to make sure those are sealed up really well. This is outside a typical home inspection, so you're going to do this stuff on your own after you move in, just to help keep your house nice and sealed up. So you're probably wondering what we're doing with the hose here today. It's actually a HUD property, so we don't have any water on. Everything has been winterized, so they put some RV antifreeze down the drains. Plumbing system is still off, so we have no water, so we had to run a hose. Obviously we were able to hook up to a hose, but the neighbor is actually potentially the buyer. So we're filling up some water in here, fill up water in there. Then when we leave, these were all dried out when we got here. So what they do is they stick antifreeze down in here, RB antifreeze, and then it sits and it'll dehydrate or it'll evaporate, and then eventually that P-trap will be open again. So every couple months when they winterize these houses, when they sit like this, they should come back through and put some more RB antifreeze in here in all the drains, just to make sure that they stay shut. Because when they evaporate and there's nothing left in the toilets, yeah, that one's not holding. I had filled that up, but it's seeping down below. When these P-traps underneath the shower or the tub or anything like that, or under the toilet, when they dry up, there's nothing left to keep the sewer gases from getting into the house. So we pour RV antifreeze down in these pipes, and it sits down in these P-traps, and eventually it evaporates, and then that P-trap is open again. So now that line back here is connected to the drain system. All those gases, not just from your house, but from the neighbor's house and the whole community, could sneak up through those drains. So that's why they winterize them and keep these shut. But every once in a while you're gonna have to come back through and put some more RV antifreeze in. If you're gonna let it sit here since what? April 11th. It's September 20th today, I believe. Yeah, September 28th today. So it's been sitting here for 4 or 5 months with nobody doing anything with it. So it's not surprising that those are dried up. This is one of the most common things I find at almost every home inspection, is we have excessive rocks on the side of the house. So in Arizona, as we've talked about before, all of our drainage goes towards the street. So we need to get all the water from the backyard up to the front. So we keep adding rocks, keep adding soil, we keep building this up. Not only did we bring the rock level up to the stucco level there, so the weep screed is underground or below grade, or at least where we can't see it, but we lost our drain in the wall there, so everything in the backyard that needs to come up forward is now blocked. So as you can see in the backyard, there are no drains on the back side of this wall. No drains, no drains. The only drains that we're gonna have are built onto our sidewall here, where it gets that water out to the front, out to the street. So when you fill these in like this, there's nowhere for that water to go. So now it's gonna back up, it's gonna build up here, it's gonna settle this pad, it's gonna settle the fence, you're gonna have some issues. One of the best things you could do is add a gutter. You put these gutters up here, it grabs all the roof runoff, so you just eliminated at least half of all the water in this area and got it out of here before it even hit the ground. So this isn't as big of a deal if you have gutters, but if you don't have gutters, you got to get that open. So when I got here to this property today, the buyer who lives next door wants to buy this house, but this house is locked up, HUD. So she went and tried to open the door, pressed that a couple times, nothing happened. It starts and it runs, but it's not connected to the door. So I told her to stop doing that, because you got to check a couple things first. When these properties are vacant, you got to check to make sure that this padlock isn't here. You got to check to make sure that this lock isn't locked. If that would have engaged and she would have opened this door, we could have had a completely bent up frame. We could have blown this out, bent all this door up, really did some damage to the door. So just be careful before you open garage doors on vacant properties. Make sure that lock isn't there and that you have that unlocked.